Hello and welcome to the Growing in Business interview series. I'm your host, Fleming Johnson, and today I'm joined by Brendan Winters, who is co-founder at CGO and Pro Skills Basketball. Brendan, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Fleming. I appreciate you having me on.
Would you like to kick us off with a brief background as to who you are and what you do?
Yeah, sure. I played basketball at Davidson from '02 to '06, so a while back now, but right before Curry to give folks a sense of the time frame. I played overseas professionally for 5 years after Davidson, and while I was over there, I started up a summer camp with one of my Davidson teammates. We called it Pro Skills Basketball because we were both pros at the time. Um, and when we retired, our bodies were breaking down a little bit. We were a little mentally worn out, and but we had a little something going with our basketball camp, and so we decided to give it a shot full time. And we've been doing that since about 2011, 2012 time period. So the last, 10 to 12, 13 years now at this point.
Very good. Tell me, what inspired you to start your own business? What was that kind of initial spark that led you to take the entrepreneurial leap?
Yeah, I knew I always wanted some sort of stable job because I grew up with a father who was an NBA player and an NBA coach, and we moved all across the country. Lived in about 8 different cities growing up. Even spent some time in Vancouver, Canada. And I didn't necessarily, while I enjoyed it growing up, I didn't necessarily want that for myself after I was done playing or for my family. So um, that was kind of one piece of it. But then the second piece was um, we started Pro Skills as a summer camp, kind of a side project, a little hobby, something to do in the summer. And it grew into something that we really enjoyed, that we were getting a ton of positive feedback on. And we had kind of the vision for the model of doing youth basketball full time. And so we were lucky enough that we played professionally and had enough money saved up from doing that where we could kind of give it a shot full time for a year. And so we figured, hey, why not? Let's try it. If it doesn't work out, we'll do something else. But it started working pretty quickly within 6 months or so. And from there, we were just kind of off to the races. And uh, yeah, that's kind of the backstory behind starting the business.
What are some common misconceptions about running a business and how do you address them?
Oh, I mean, that's a good question. I think there's a lot of misconceptions. I mean, the one I see nowadays is that entrepreneurship is kind of glorified. And I don't know, sometimes I think people think it's some uh, big, shiny, awesome thing. And it's not always that. I mean, it is great, but it's also hard as heck. And it's really difficult. And it's a real roller coaster. And you have to manage your emotions and the highs and lows and things like that. So, it is an awesome thing to get into, but it also is super difficult. But it can be very worthwhile.
So, how do you address those highs and lows or manage them yourself?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's kind of a daily struggle. I think I've gotten better at it through the years. You know, I, I used to get very upset anytime something went wrong. And there was a lot of it or when we made mistakes. But um yeah, I think now I'm 41. I've been doing this for, 13-ish years or so, and so have learned to manage the highs and the lows. And yeah, I think on the lows, understand that there's going to be tough times, and the highs, like, hey, it's great right now, but just got to stay prepared and not get too high and too excited about the way things are, and just try to stay more even keeled about everything.
How do you maintain a work-life balance as a business owner? And do you have any personal rituals or habits that keep you motivated and focused?
Yeah, I mean, at first it was really difficult because it was especially in our business. But I think this applies to most business owners as they start, you're doing everything from the bookkeeping to the website to running the actual business, hiring employees, managing, and everything in between. And so there wasn't a whole lot of work-life balance initially. It was mostly work. I spent, it was 9 to 5, you could say, on the business, doing the website and all that. But then I'd have to go from 5 to 9 at night and be on the court with kids and doing that sort of stuff. So there wasn't a whole lot of balance. I mean, it was, 10 to 12 hour days every day. And then we were working weekends too, because that's when the camps and clinics and tournaments and that sort of stuff is. So it really was kind of a 7 day a week, 10, 12 hour days. And it could be pretty exhausting. But the main thing I've learned through those years is to hire good people, great people. I shouldn't even say good, like A+ people. And the more you're able to do that, the more you're able to delegate to them, and you trust them because they are A+ people. And it can be hard at first because you got to take a step back, because it's going to cost money, and it's, you're going to have to train them and that sort of stuff. But it's kind of like one step back to take 2 steps forward, sort of thing. So I'd say the biggest thing is hiring the right people. And we've been able to do that. We have an amazing team now. And so I have much more balance these days over the last couple of years, which has been nice since I, have some kids now and all that. And I'm not on the court pretty much at all anymore. And mostly just running the business.
In the constantly evolving business landscape, how do you stay adaptable and open to change? Are there any specific strategies that you use to remain innovative?
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing I'm really proud of our organization is even though we're a larger organization with a lot of people and a lot of moving parts, we're still we've still been able to maintain kind of a feel of being small or acting small, and being able to change or pivot or do whatever as quick as we want, really. And we're not afraid to do it. And we're not afraid to reverse course either. If we implement something or make a change and it doesn't go the way we thought it was going to go, we're not afraid to reverse course and change back. But I'd say the biggest thing I do is I listen to a lot of podcasts, which is why I appreciate you having me on this one. And I don't listen to any basketball podcasts. I listen to all business podcasts, and just I try to get ideas from tech businesses or non-basketball businesses, and try to pick and choose the best ideas that I hear that might work for our company, and bring them into our company. And I think that's kind of a big part of my job is I think I'm known as like an ideas guy. Like I every day or every week I'm spitting out, 5 to 10 ideas of whether it's a tech platform we might be able to use or a different policy or procedure or something like that. And we don't always go with all of them, but I am willing to bring them to the table, and we talk about them and potentially implement them.
Very good. Very good. Tell me, could you now offer a glimpse into your future plans and goals for your business? What do you envision for the next chapter of your entrepreneurial journey?
Yeah, it's actually perfect timing, because I think we are getting into the next chapter of our business. We started in Charlotte, North Carolina, and actually Davidson specifically, which is about 30 minutes north of Charlotte, and never had any intentions of growing or spreading into other cities or other areas. But we got a little bit lucky and figured out there was a path, and we could create jobs and careers for other passionate youth basketball folks in other cities, and really impact kids. And so we started doing that. But we made a lot of mistakes, and it's gone a little slowly over the last 8 years or so. But over the last year, specifically, kind of coming out of COVID and getting our feet back under us, we've decided to ramp that up. And so we're currently in 35 cities. We just brought on 15 new city directors in new cities in September. And we have no plans to stop. We plan to bring on even more next year, which is a big part of my job. I hope to bring on 30 more cities and city directors next year, which is pretty much what I'm doing on a daily basis, is talking to people and interviewing people and trying to find those really professional, passionate youth basketball folks. So we want to be in 100 cities or more in the next few years. And it's kind of interesting. We never thought this would happen, but there's a lot of interest in youth sports these days. And so we're thinking about at some point in the future, maybe bringing on a partner, whether that's a strategic partner, anyone from the NBA to other folks, or there's a lot of PE interested in youth sports as well, and we're having those conversations. So we'll see what happens there, but we're kind of staying focused on our mission, which is changing the culture of youth basketball and really impacting kids and bringing that into as many cities as we possibly can.
What advice would you offer to aspiring entrepreneurs who are, say, just starting their journey or facing challenges in their businesses?
Yeah, I would go back to kind of what I said before, is understand that it's a roller coaster. It's the highs are really high and the lows are really low. And um, if you can stay even keel about it, it'll be a lot more healthy mentally for you. I think that's number one. But also number two, I think deciding what kind of business you want. Do you want it to be a lifestyle business where you do have great work-life balance, and it's a job and it keeps you going, and you're able to feed yourself and your family and have a roof over your head and that? Or is it something you want to build to scale and exit and um, possibly take on a partner one day? Yeah, I think there's some big differences between the two, and deciding, you don't have to decide maybe right away. Like I think we thought we were going to create a lifestyle business at first, but now it has become, something that we want to build and grow and invest in, and potentially bring on a partner sometime in the future.
Very good. Thank you so much for your
Yeah,
time
thanks for
today,
having me.
Brendan.
Enjoyed
It was
it.
great to meet you and learn about your entrepreneurial journey.
Yeah, thank you, Fleming. I appreciate it. It was awesome.
My pleasure. And to everyone watching, I look forward to seeing you in our next episode.
Thank you.
Okay, that's it.